Hi, this is Cynthia Ortiz. These are the Charles Perry, David Roberson Stalker Human Trafficking Podcast. It's March 5th, 2023, and it's been a weird week. So let's first review the definition of domestic violence. Domestic violence is a pattern of abusive behavior in any relationship that is used by one partner to gain or maintain power and control over another intimate partner. It doesn't have to be intimate. John Hinckley Jr. did not have any kind of romance with Jodie Foster except in his own head. Same thing with, remember he did murder someone as part of the stalking. Same thing with Rebecca Schaefer's killer. There was no romance there. It was all in his head. He hired a PI, used DMV records to get her address, went to her home and killed her dead, shot her. Stalking can be deadly. It's a shame that Oklahoma law enforcement has not, apparently they have one of the highest rates in the country of murders of the female victim at the hands of the male domestic violence offender. One of the highest in the country. That means as far as, protecting life, they suck at their job. And I hate to say it. I wish that was not the case. Numbers don't lie. Numbers are numbers. I have help from somewhere else. It is not from Oklahoma law enforcement. Mr. Perry has called and called and called and called and called, trying to figure out who it is helping me, who is investigating him, that has found more evidence of organized crime and human trafficking and coercion and witness tampering and obstruction of justice and tampering with evidence, murder in the first degree, than anybody has ever found in his entire life. They are helping me. We don't need Oklahoma. I came to Oklahoma. It was the second time I moved to get away from Charles Perry and to end all contact with him and to have no drama and no problems and no conflict. And he is in Oklahoma all the time and refuses to leave. He has a disease called Huntington's disease. That information is part of the fruit of the investigation into his crime. Huntington's disease causes paranoia, delusion, hallucinations, psychosis, and impaired cognitive reasoning. He tells people he's got Tourette's. Apparently there are similar symptoms, physical symptoms, and somebody said the other day that is bullshit. He goes, Tourette's, come on. You can't talk to him for more than 2 minutes until something's wrong with him. It is not Tourette's. He doesn't even make sense half the time. Stuff that I'm seeing him do and say doesn't even make sense. So that is a person who has impaired reasoning. He doesn't understand what's happening. He has no grasp on reality. He sounds like a Looney Tune when you talk to him, and he has no idea. Not a clue. For 10 years, when they do the crime to me, they get caught. And they call all around. Who's catching our crime? Who is it? Is it you? Is you stopping my crime? We want you to not stop my crime. And we're just like, wow. Oh my God. My guys said they will not take his phone calls and they will not call him back because in March 2020 they said, you need to comply with the law, sir, and stop tampering with our witness. Stop tampering with our witness. You are not to invade her privacy. She has the right to privacy. Get the fuck out of her phone. Get the fuck out your cameras out of her house. Quit invading her privacy. Quit contacting people in her life and holding meetings with her coworkers and holding meetings with her family and her friends. We're not doing that to you. Why are you doing that to her? She's not in Texas. You are in Oklahoma, where she lives. So I left Lubbock in November 2013 and moved to the Dallas area. Mr. Perry was escalated the stalking and made it unbearable. Butt into my work, dating, anything he could butt into, he butt into it. And then I violated my rights like a motherfucker. Then I moved from the Dallas area to Oklahoma, home to my family, in September 2014 with my son. I had a minor child in my care at the time. We're both being stalked. Our life was hell. My son didn't get to have a normal childhood. I will forever feel terrible for him. that he never got to have a normal childhood because that child has grown up being the victim of crime. Sick, twisted, hateful, cruel crime. They do stuff no normal person could think of if they had to. Sick, twisted, nasty, vulgar, embarrassing shit that is weirdo to everybody normal. Absolutely weirdo. And they don't know that they should be embarrassed by it. People have said of Charles, when he'll say something weird about Cindy, and we're all crawling under the table, throwing up, I need to wash my brain. That was the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. I can't believe he said that. And he acts like he didn't know there was anything wrong with it. They said it's awful. Some of the stuff he said about her is awful. I can't stand that guy. I fucking can't stand that guy. Okay, so the direct result of Mr. Perry's criminal acts against me are that he gets caught because I've helped. Okay, so domestic violence can be physical, sexual, emotional, economic interference. We call it interference with commerce and contracts with intent to coerce, grand larceny with intent to coerce. Those would be the acts. The charges will likely be witness tampering, coercion. You trafficked me, and you're all desperate. We heard the meeting. We heard the whole entire meeting. The guys have it. It is a fruit of the investigation into your crime. A couple days ago, you guys are going over all your numbers and your money and who you owe money to and this and that. And then one guy says, we're going to have to deliver. That's all there is to it. We have to get paid. We've sold her. We have to get paid. It's illegal to traffic. It comes with a life sentence. You're caught. Most victims don't know they've been sold, and until it's too damn late. I've known for years. Okay, let me repeat this, because I'm going to tell you, this fact right here does not click in any of their brains. It doesn't click. What it means that we have this. For years, I've known you sold me in an illegal human trafficking deal to a realtor in Houston named Larry. Does any other victim have that information before you deliver? Probably not. So, there are 3 things that we all learned in daycare. Cause and effect, same and different, before and after. It's different when you do the crime to me than other victims, but it's the same every time you do it. You get caught. We get the information before, not after. When we're talking about he's trying to frame me for a murder, and here's the specific details on what he's doing to try to frame me for that murder. Where he's trying to, go into court and make a false claim that he's being harassed in Oklahoma, where he doesn't live and wasn't invited. Every time he commits a crime against me, and then he gets caught. Again, I'm not in Texas holding meetings with his family and coworkers and employees. He's in Oklahoma doing that to me. Holding meetings with my family members, holding meetings with my coworkers, using them to stalk for him. We've already said this. I'm repeating myself. We have said this over and over and over and over and over again and over again and again and again and again. When Mr. Perry is in jail, I can tell you one of the top 5 things we are going to be able to enjoy about our lives once again when he's finally gone and not around to cause one problem and one misery after another and all kinds of drama. He is all about the drama, and I fucking hate drama. I fucking hate drama. Can't stand it. No more repeat. Finally, we can all live our lives again without having to repeat ourselves over and over and over and over, and it just still doesn't click. So, this is a grown man who wants to be governor of Texas. If you want to run for any office at all, whether you're Republican or Democrat, it does not matter. You first have to be able to, in your own personal life, prove that you are up to the task by being able to identify a problem, identify the cause very quickly, and find an effective solution very quickly. The public expects you to be able to do that. For 10 years, Mr. Perry does the crime to me. He gets caught in the planning stages of it. I should be dead right now. I should be kidnapped right now, and I'm not. They sold me in an illegal trafficking deal. We found out before they could make delivery, and over the weekend they had a meeting going over all the people they have to pay money to. Here's all the people we promised money to, and we can't make the payments unless we deliver her, so I guess we're going to have to deliver. This has never happened before, where we had one that found out before, and then we try to do all these things to coerce and pressure, and then that doesn't work because she finds out before. And we're repeating the same thing all the time. You're caught when you do it to me. You're caught when you do the crime to me. When you do the crime to me, this is cause and effect. You get caught. You got nothing else. You got 10 years of nothing but that. 10 years of it. So I don't know when they're going to be done. I don't know who all they're investigating. I don't know who all they're looking into. I know that it seems to have been and seems to have become an ever-expanding investigation. So there's that. So let's get back to this. This is, by the way, by the Office on Violence Against Women, Justice Department, Mr. Perry. This is the legal definition that you have economic abuse, psychological abuse, technologies like hacking me. And Calvin never shuts up. She can't DoorDash unless we let her DoorDash. And she don't make money unless we let her make money. Controlling the victim through economic abuse meets the definition of domestic violence, and it is a criminal act, and you are caught. Don't run around acting like nobody knows. Everybody knows. And if you aren't smart enough to know what is causing you to get caught, most criminals would not want to get caught. You seem to like it. He said, don't invade her privacy. Don't contact her or her family. And she'd better not be broke from your economic abuse. She don't DoorDash unless we let her DoorDash. She don't work unless we let her work. She don't work until we decide where she's going to work and how much money she's going to make. And she just ain't broke enough yet to make her go be trafficked. We've heard you say it over. We only need one, by the way. We've heard you say it. Oh, you guys are big on the repeat. Over and over and over. This includes any behavior that is intimidating or manipulative or intended to humiliate or isolate, like separating me from my family, frighten, terrorize, coerce, threaten, blame, hurt, injure, or wound someone. Nobody invited you, Charles Perry, to Oklahoma. Nobody. And near it, somebody said, if you're accused of stalking, if I was accused of stalking, I would do all that I could do to avoid all appearances of stalking, especially if you want to run for office. You know what that dum-dum did? Leaves his family, leaves his constituents, leaves everybody in Texas, his business, and goes to Oklahoma where the accuser lives, thousands of miles away from where he lives and needs to be, and refuses to leave. And so that is stalking. By definition, that is stalking. Mr. Perry, somebody else said, if I'm using third person, I'm quoting someone else. Remember, we get this surveillance crap in all the time. I'm not always told who it is. I believe this was a reporter who called one of their law offices and talked to somebody who worked in their law office. And I'm not, whatever. I don't even care. I'm glad we have it. But the reporter said, I understand Mr. Perry would like Cynthia to sign an affidavit recanting all her claims. And the guy said yes. And she said, who prepared it? And he said, Mr. Perry did. And she said, okay, so these are not the words of Ms. Ortiz, correct? And he said, Mr. Perry has prepared an affidavit that he would like her to sign, admitting to lying, admitting to making up some kind of story that's not true, and apologizing. And she said, so recanting her claims, because she says she's not lying, and I'm looking at the evidence, and it looks like she's not lying. Does he not understand that that would not be enough to overcome the evidence that she has, first of all? Second of all, he is in Oklahoma. She is not in Texas. She has made it very clear she moved to Oklahoma to get away from him, and just his presence in the state where she lives makes her very uncomfortable and is very stressful for her, not including all the problems that he clearly is causing. She's had her car wrecked. She's lost her homes. That is definition of economic abuse. He's taking her money. He's hacked her phones. He's a voyeur. Those are the allegations. Does he not know what the allegations are? And so what I'm going to tell you is I'm seeing evidence here that supports those claims. I'm not seeing any reason that would be supported with evidence that Mr. Perry should be in Oklahoma at all. And his very presence in Oklahoma is very stressful for her. She doesn't want him in Oklahoma. That's where she went to get away from him. He's now met her family behind her back and had them testify against her in an illegal court dealing, right? Well, I'm not. She said, listen, do you really think that if she signed that, we would believe you that if you said she did it of her own free will and wasn't forced into it? You can't eat until you sign this. We're going to find a way to arrest you again, and you're not going to get out unless you sign this. Do you really think that we would believe that she would sign such a document? She's not prepared. He did. And wasn't pressured, being he's always in Oklahoma, and she's got all these problems. I'm sorry, but that looks like she's telling the truth. And I'm not seeing anything come from him that would indicate otherwise. Keep in mind, again, he prepared it, not her. He needs the lie. She does not. She doesn't need a change in his testimony. He needs the change in her testimony. So what I'm telling you is, until he's back in Texas and she's not having a whole lot of problems and she prepares an affidavit, only then would I believe that it's of her own free will. Because right now it looks like he's trying to make her sign something he prepared that benefits him. He needs the lie. She does not. She's not asked him to lie. He's asking her to lie. She doesn't have an affidavit that she's trying to pressure him to sign. It's the other way around. Do you see where I'm going with this? And the guy was like, well, I think his campaign people found a way to make it work. And she said, I'm going to tell you again, I would not take it seriously. It would not be legit to me. It would not be signed without force and of her own free will until he's in Texas and she's not having any more problems and she herself prepares the document. Okay? I don't believe you and I'm not stupid. That's what she said. So I don't know which person in which law office this reporter talked to, but that was the conversation. Okay? Do you think there's only one reporter that is that is not stupid and can ask some intelligent questions like who prepared the affidavit that we all keep hearing about? We've all heard about it. He has an affidavit. By God, she's going to sign it. He needs to lie. Those are his words. And by the way, at the end of that conversation, here's what she said. She said, Mr. Perry never shuts up. I think that it is very important at this point that he fades into the background for a little while and that we are allowed to hear her story and hear her talk. And he continues to try to speak for her. He continues to try to call and say and smear her and slander her. And I think that at this point, we're tired of hearing that. What we would like to hear is her story. We want to hear talk to her. We want to hear her talk. I'm looking at all these court cases where she's not in court. In her own lawsuits where the burden of proof is on her, she's never there. Clearly, he's trying to silence her, and now there's an affidavit recanting all her claims that he prepared. I'm not stupid, is what she said. I think that it's important for him to stop talking, for him to fade into the background. We want to hear her story. We've heard enough of his. Okay, just keep that in mind. People are not dumb. I know you wish they were, but they're not. Okay, so we have this blog that we go document every little thing that they do to coerce, pressure. They want me to lie, and they want me to go be trafficked so they can get their money. That was the subject matter of their meeting over the weekend. Here's how much money we've promised to other people. We don't have that money unless we deliver her, so we have to make her be delivered. And my answer to that, Mr. Perry, is how dare you even have the nerve to ask? My answer is no, and fuck you. You got yourself in a mess. You're a grown-ass man. It's your problem. You are not going to bother me with that. When you contact me, when you invade my privacy, when you take my money, it always provokes. It always helps us. We always get more evidence against you to use in the criminal case that is being built now. I've said this over and over and over and over. Everybody is sick of you and your problems and your drama and your crime. Nobody likes that. We get the help. Here's the evidence of that. We get the help, not you. You're getting told on. You're getting caught. And it's 10 years of this. It didn't happen once or twice. It didn't happen for a month or a day or a week or a year. It has happened every day, all day long. We quote pretty much every meeting you have, pretty much every phone call you make. Because I wasn't supposed to know I was sold. I wasn't supposed to know who to who. I wasn't supposed to know about your affidavit. What was supposed to happen is you were supposed to do your second false arrest, sit me down, and tell me you are gonna lie or else. You are gonna sign this fucking affidavit. You are gonna go be delivered so we can make our money. And there won't be a trial. I know you have the right to a trial. You're not gonna have one. You're gonna plead guilty so I can get my headline. You're gonna lie and cover up my crime. Or we're going to do to you what we did to Mike Neely. Then you're going to go to the Houston compound and you're going to get raped every day so I can make even more money off your body against your will. And I was just supposed to go, oh, okay, and do what you want, right? You have not met me, or you would never think. You guys get your expectations all out of whack because you forget who it is you're dealing with. It's different this time. You're the ones running around. This has never happened before. We've not seen this before, but you continue to do, this usually works. It's different. You continue to forget who it is you're dealing with and learn from your own history. Criminals are stupid or they wouldn't be criminals. Low IQ and no impulse control. Here is our disclaimer. But for Mr. Perry being in Oklahoma where he was never, ever invited to be and doing one crime after another to me in Oklahoma, Texas courts, we get a little confused as to what Judy's doing. Judy Parker and I used to be friends. In fact, one of my other friends, I guess, said maybe to Charles or to someone who called on Charles's behalf, Cindy doesn't like him. There's no chance there of a romance. There's no chance. I think he's imagining stuff that's not real. It's not real to her. So what I'm going to tell you is that what I know about her, I watched her grow up, and she did. And I've known her for a long, long time. I watched her fight with everything she had for her patients and for her children. Judy watched me fight for my children too. And she is not going to put up with abuse. She will not put up with abuse. That's the first thing I'll tell you. Second thing I'll tell you is, if she is sleeping in her car and dancing and door dashing, what did he do to her? Because she's always had a professional business career. So what did he do to her? It's his fault. I'll tell you that too. From what I know of Cindy, that's not her thing. So what did he do to her to force her that that's the only way she can eat? What in the hell? Okay, second of all, she's sleeping in her car because she doesn't want to be with you. Actually, sleeping in her car for her is better. So that's how horrible you've been to her, is that she would rather sleep in her car and not eat and not bathe for 6 months. Last year, this time, this is what I was doing. I'm sorry. In January, it ended. I did have a place to stay finally. But they tried very hard to starve me and make me destitute until I would be coerced into doing what they want. They're still trying. They're still trying. But they're getting caught, so it's been harder, I guess. I don't know, but I'm better now than I was then, financially, and it's not for them. It's not because of them. It's in spite of them. So my friend said, he said, well, it's in a bad economy, and she said, oh, bullshit. That's a load of crap. It is not. First of all. Second of all, Saeed would never, ever let that happen, even in a bad economy. In fact, he started a business for her. He created a job for her, and he made sure they all made money so that they could all pay their bills right on time. No late fees, no nothing. So it was him and her and some of his family members and some of their friends. They all worked together at this business, and they all made money, and their bills were all paid on time. So that's the kind of man she would go out with. That's the kind of man everybody saw her with. That's the kind of man she actually was with. There's no way she would go out with somebody who made her sleep in her car. That's why she was sleeping in her car. Because that's better than being with a monster like you, or like Mr. Perry, whoever she was talking to. It's been a while since I heard that, so I don't remember. But I'm telling you, Judy should know the same thing. She should know exactly the same Cindy. I have a history. Before I ever met Mr. Perry, I had a business of my own. I made enough for an employee to steal $90,000 over 9 months. Plus, once I closed my business down, the receivables fed my family for a year. I know how to make money, and you're in my way. You're interfering with commerce, the buying and selling of anything. If I want to go buy an eyelash and you get in my way, they're going to charge you. It's an act of witness tampering. The act is interference with commerce with intent to coerce. What I have, what I do, is none of your fucking business. So we apply the but for you doing things to cause problems in my life. I wouldn't have everybody has a problem, but they're excessive because you're causing them intentionally, and the intent is to coerce. Now, Mr. Perry will type the most bizarre crap in my phone. He cloned my phone, and some days I can't get anything done because he's typing right over my typing. He'll ask about leaks. Is this personal leak? Is it Jim? Is it Al? Is it this guy? Is it that? Is it your mom? Is it your family? How many times have I answered that question? I'm not told who leaks are, nor will I ever help you. Never have, never will. When you contact me, though, asking for information, it gets us information, not you. Cause and effect. Same, different, before, after. You seem to like to get caught because you do the same thing every day that gets you caught. When you do the crime to me, you get caught. Let's do it my way. Suit yourself. Suit yourself, dum-dum. Don't complain. Yes, my guys were like, we told them, don't invade her privacy, don't contact her, don't take her money. And if you do, you're going to have problems. We like making problems for criminals just like you. So you make problems for her, we can make some for you too. That goes both ways. Don't dish it out if you can't take it. You invade her privacy, we got court orders to invade yours. How's it feel when someone does it to you? Huh? It goes both ways. So this is about the use of technology to stalk. This is what cops are supposed to do when they get a stalking complaint, which is not what TPD did. So we don't call TPD. Our guys won't talk to them. They've not shown themselves trustworthy. They gave my police report right to the domestic violence offender, who then obstructed justice, destroyed my evidence, committed perjury, and then went on to kill a police officer. That one is right here. Because you can't beat someone to death, beat their head back and forth so hard their head becomes detached from the rest of the body, and they die of internal decapitation and have not a mark on you. And you sure shit can't do it while you're dying of opioid overdose. Can you? No. You killed a cop. You killed a cop. It's my opinion, based on what I've seen and what I know and what I've heard, that you are a pedophile, sir, and a cop killer. And so when you run around acting like I was born yesterday, we don't even have words for that. We don't. Okay. It's different when you do it to me. We owe all this money and we don't have the money to pay it. So we're going to have to deliver. We heard you say it. We have it recorded. The judge has already heard it. The judge in your criminal case who grants investigatory orders, like a wiretap order or something, if there was any new guy at all in that meeting, he's now got probably, I'm not saying for sure, I'm saying the chances are high, he now has a wiretap order on every phone he's got. So you do what you do, right? Don't invade her privacy. Don't contact her, and she's not to be broke. She's not to be broke. So you don't jam up DoorDash and decide when she can make money and when she can't. Because you'll pay for it. There's consequences to what we do, right? You can live with your decisions, can't you? Okay, so here's the whole, we document it as it happens, as it comes up. That's what this whole blog is. Okay, all of this is documenting all your threats. They're specific. We get details. Okay, so the other thing is that we understand that Mr. Perry, and this came from a confidential informant, Charles told Craig, her cousin, he said, don't let Cynthia's family, he called our guys, and he said, don't let Cynthia's family fool you, that they didn't know what Charles was doing. They did know. They knew exactly what he was doing, because Charles, when she first moved to Oklahoma, she was doing medical supplies, selling allergy testing kits and stuff, and it didn't go well. And Charles went to Craig and said, we shut the medical thing down. We shut it down. We can't have her running off with some doctor. And Craig was like, what? And he said, we shut it down. We need her dancing right now. And Craig at the time did not know, the guy said. He said what her cousin did know, that Charles is intentionally causing her money problems because he told them he was causing her money problems. He flat told them, Mr. Perry, every time you contact me, we always find out more. No one is helping you, they're helping us. You're horrifying people. Write it down. I'm sick of repeating for you. We say it, then we show you. Okay, at 10 years into this, dum-dum, shouldn't have to repeat things for you this much. Write it down. Get a nurse and stop bothering me with your fucking same questions over and over and over. I'm not told who your leaks are. I won't help you. And fuck you for asking. Fuck you that you have the nerve to ask me for help. Fuck you. You are off your nut. Boy, that makes me mad. Don't contact me. I fucking hate it. You sick son of a bitch. Stop contacting me. So what he said is, Craig knew, her family knew, way back then, that Cindy's money problems were intentionally caused by Charles Perry, because he flat told them, we shut the medical professional businesswoman thing down. We shut it down. On purpose shut it down. Made sure she could make a dime, because we want her dancing. What he didn't know is that was done to groom her for being trafficked. I'm going to say it again. Write it the fuck down. He did it intentionally to groom her, made her dance, cut off every other option. There's no other way to eat There's no other way to feed your family. There's no other way for you to take care of your kid but for dancing in a strip club because we wanted to groom her to be human trafficked. That was in 2014. You were caught then, sir. There's a lot of stuff we have that we don't talk about what we have, and tell it unless we're good and fucking ready to. So when you start saying, today he's typing in my phone, we have your DNA at the crime scene. We have your DNA. Whoa. I came from police, sir. I came from police. I took a forensic class in college. I made an A in that class. Don't forget who it is you're talking to, Mr. Perry. You are on the board, strange and odd as this might sound. When I was doing research for my lawsuit, the first one way back when, I had to look at facts about Mr. Perry. Otherwise, believe me when I say Googling Mr. Perry was the last. It made me want to throw up that I had to do that. But I'm not going to go in there blind. I'm going to know my shit. So I found that Mr. Perry, who is an accountant, not a forensic accountant, just a regular accountant, and not a very good one at that, was put on the board of the Forensic Nurses Association in Lubbock, Texas. The fuck? What in the fuck would he want to do that for? Well, if you're trying to find ways to frame victims of your crime to shut them up, you might want to go learn about forensics. Or if we got a woman named Mary Beth, sometimes goes by Beth, dumped outside Billings, Montana at a lake, and you want to get rid of trace evidence of your murder, you might learn how to do that being on that board. She was found naked. You took her clothes off and you burned them, you said. You said, I took her clothes off and I burned them in a nearby campsite. They won't ever get me on that. Look what I can do and get away with. That has been your Achilles heel, is that you love to run around and tell everybody who will listen, look what I can do and get away with. Okay? Murdering Chief Miller, murdering Mary Beth, trying to murder me, trying to murder Mike Neely. Mike Neely is a cop that was called by God himself to be a cop. And you are not going to ruin his destiny. What before this life is over, before everything is said and done, God will have his way in that guy's life, and that guy was called to be a police officer. Okay? So you can live with your consequences, Mr. Perry. You make a choice, you're a grown-ass man. Live with it, you fuck. You sick fuck. You hid this stuff all your life until you did it to me. Life as you knew it ended. And it will never be the same again. And if you think I'll lie for you, I'd like to kick you in the teeth just because you're that stupid. Doesn't mean I will unless you get close enough, unless you come to where I am. If you come to where I am because of Mary Beth, I'm not going to wait to see if you got a chloroform rag on you or a syringe with strychnine in it or something. A gun did not save Mike and Lucky. They both are cops. They were at a police conference. They are armed. And a gun didn't do shit, did it? No, I promise you I will kick the fuck out of you if you get anywhere near me. I promise you. Your balls will be in your brain so fast you won't know what hit you. But I'm not going to be the next Mary Beth, okay? Not going to happen. You got a sick, twisted problem, and you got caught when you did it to me. Stuff you hid all your life. It's out now, dum-dum, because you did it to me. So we got all this today. I mean, they're sitting there meeting about how can we get her delivered. Well, we got the murder frame-up thing that we're trying to do, and Judy was supposed to have her arrested Monday, and I don't know what happened on that. And then we were going to have her go to the eye doctor and have her arrested at the eye doctor. And then and how would you know that? But for voyeurism and hacking, that I needed to go to the eye doctor. Yeah, there's only one. The only way you could know that is illegal means. HIPAA protects my medical, okay? And you've violated HIPAA all over the place. So my guys have that. They'll deal with that. I got this. Things have gone badly because Charles and Perry think they know everything. There was 2 conversations like that. One was a phone call last night or early this morning. I'm not told who it was, but the guy was asked for help. The guy was contacted and somebody asked him for help. And he said, no, because here's the thing. They keep doing things that they know will get them caught. They know it, and they're doing it anyway. So, there's nothing I can do. They seem to like that. When they're done playing this sick, weird little game they're playing, and they stop messing with the one person that happens with, then we'll talk. Otherwise, Charles and Dave know everything. They're the masterminds behind all this. Let them run it into the ground. I'm not gonna help you. He said, I'm not gonna waste my time telling you things you should already know or repeating myself any more than her people are. I don't have time. We're all busy. We all have things to do. We all have a life. Why don't you? So, yeah. He wouldn't help. He was like, no, I'm not going to help you. They've been told over and over and over and over, when you do the crime to her, you get caught. So stop doing the crime to her. Unless you just like getting caught. And they just keep going at it. And then she catches him again. And then they go at it again. And then she catches him. She's got help. Okay, you gotta get a grip on reality. He's making people very uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable. So until he gets that, he's already been told to him. He's already been explained that to him. These are things actually nobody should have to explain to him. And I'm not wasting my time. They know everything. Let them run it into the ground. You don't need my help. And I'm not going to repeat myself. If they don't like getting caught, then quit doing it to her. I mean, how many times have people got to repeat themselves for you? He flat said, I don't have time to repeat myself any more than her people do. That's what my guy said. I won't call him until he does what I told him. Because he acts like he can't understand what I said. I'm not a special education teacher. I'm a cop. So I'm not going to sit down and explain shit to him. I said, don't contact her. I said, quit taking her money and quit doing things that cost her money. You know, every time you wrecked my car and I had to pay for a deductible and a car rental, that cost me money. You're trying to do it again. My guy said there is not a day that goes by that they don't talk about ruining your engine, put something in the gas tank, take the battery out, slash the tires, cause a car accident again, I'll pull her over. Get the car, then she'll do what we say. Get the car, then she'll do what we say. Get the car. Do it every day. Every day. So we got all these pullover emails. I mean, there's a lot. If you notice, my pullover that we went to court and fought all year last year was done January 3rd, I want to say. Well, look at the dates of these. I mean, there's a bunch of them right surrounding that date. He wants to have me pulled over. He wants to have me pulled over. He did have me pulled over. He wants to have me pulled over. Then he had me pulled over again. And then the other, about 2 weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, who's supposed to pull Cindy over this weekend? Yeah, duly we got it. We have it. When you do it, now you just gave us evidence of premeditation and malicious forethought. We only need you to say it once. Look at this. That's why my guys will not talk to the locals. That's why they won't talk to them. See? Every problem, every penny. So we got all that. Then there's the murder frame-up stuff. Judy is trying to help them. Let's all sit down and have a meeting and see if we can't make this second false arrest work, because Charles needs his lie. And we're going to tell her there's not going to be a trial. Even though you have the right to a trial, you're going to plead guilty. You're going to sign the affidavit. There's not going to be a trial. And you're going to do what we tell you. At which time, I promise you, I would look at you in the eye and say, fuck you. Whatever. Fuck you. I will not do what you want. These guys are about to put all y'all in jail, and I'll be done. We're done. No more repeating. They're going to put you all in jail. We're getting the help, not you. No one else has this. I have it. And you act like you don't know what that means. Because you're stupid. What does it mean that I have all this? Before you do it. I get it before, not after. Same, different. It's different than any other victim you've ever done this to, but it's the same every time you do it. We quote you every day. We get the help, not you. We don't run around asking who leaked. You do. You're just not all there, are you? Nope. So that's basically what the guy has said, and this guy said the same thing. You don't like it that she finds out before? No. It's going to happen again and again and again. Because Charles and Dave don't have any grasp on reality. They don't yet realize what they're dealing with. She said they're upsetting people and making everybody uncomfortable with their crime. Horrifying people. Who the fuck does that? So, Charles didn't go up to Oklahoma and spare no expense to try to win her over. He spared no expense to try to ruin her, and everybody knows it. And everybody's had it with him. Everybody's sick and tired of it. And her people know what people want, and it's not this. It's not for them to do that to her, or anybody else for that matter. Everybody's sick of being pressured to do something they don't want to do. They know it's wrong. They know it's illegal. They know they have a liability, and you're making them do it, and they don't want to. And everybody's tired of dealing with it. So we get the help, you get told on. We get the help, you get told on. When you contact me, we get more, and we get more help because you're making people mad. When you take my money, we get even more help. I have your names. You don't have our guys' names. Right, Betancourt? Right, Muffin Man? Right, Sonjay and Beverly? Okay. Name one of my guys. You can't. Quote one of their meetings. You can't. We don't ask about leaks. We don't have them. You do. You're horrifying people. You're doing something wrong. You're getting caught. And you will not ask me again for help without paying a serious, serious consequence. If you need help, call your fucking attorney. And don't ask me directly again, because you will have a very, very serious consequence every time you do that. You kind of already are. So he said it's going to happen again until Charles gets a grasp on reality and understands people don't like what he's doing. People don't like crime. It makes everybody uncomfortable. If you cannot behave in a civilized manner, in a civilized society, and you're a deviant, eventually you're going to get your ass kicked. That's just how that works. Because a civilized society doesn't want you in it. Trying to find every way that you can possibly find to destroy peace. And just trample all over everybody's rights. And then run around declaring how your rights are being violated. Charles will actually type in my phone. In my phone, he's hacked my phone. It's illegal to do that. It's against my will for him to do that. And he'll sit there and type in my phone, "You're violating my rights." And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. What a fucktard. Wow. In my opinion, you're a fucktard. In my opinion, you're a sick, twisted, horrifying, deviant, sick, fucked up pedophile cop killer based on the information I've seen and what I've heard. You're a psychopath based on what I've seen and heard, and the only person you're concerned with is you. Well, guess what? We're all concerned about us and the victims, not you. We get the help, not you. You get told on. 10 years of it. Not once or twice. Not for a day or a week or a month. Mr. Perry, all day, every day, for 10 years. Okay, so that's my opinion. So there was a meeting, I guess, with Judy. She was supposed to be arrested Monday so that we could deliver her. And, what happened to the meeting, blah, blah, blah. Then we have this murder, another conversation about framing me for the murder. Well, there's a shoe problem because Beverly said if only she had been wearing those shoes, and that was last summer. But the summer before that, her shoes were taken. Not even the same pair of shoes. And before that, she's got this from February 15th about the murder frame-up. And then Charles is typing in my phone, "We have your DNA. We have your fingerprints." Okay, well, you can plant DNA. Did you forget O.J. Simpson? You have to forget that, dum-dum? Every time you contact me, we get more information just like this. We can address it before you do it. It's not an afterthought to explain something away. You were recorded talking about it. We got it. Who has it? Yeah. Okay, so we have what you were planning to do to me that was illegal, that would involve tampering with a witness who is to testify against you. I'm to testify against you. Okay? Your forged marriage license, it doesn't mean shit. I didn't sign it. I didn't consent to it. I didn't even know about it. You can't consent to something you don't know about until after you did it, and Chief Miller asked me about it. And I was like, why would I do that, Lucky? Why the fuck would I sign something like that? I can't stand that guy. There's not even been a date. There will never be a date. I'll kick the shit out of him if he gets anywhere near me. So, you forged a marriage license. And you forged a power of attorney. And you're getting access to information protected by privacy laws illegally. Now, on some of this stuff, like the ATM thing, all I can testify to, because you can get up and say, oh, she's lying and she's harassing us and she can't prove it. I don't have to. I don't have to. The guys will prove it in your criminal case. It's not, I'm the witness. I'm not the prosecutor. I'm the witness. I'm the victim. Okay? So, for their case, all I'm going to really, really confirm is witness. Okay? For their case, witness. For the prosecution against you. And you're trying to make me change my story. You're trying to kidnap me. You're trying to kill me. We hear the conversations all the, can we kill her and get away with it? We need her to get a house. Maybe we got to get her a house so she can die of, we can make it look like carbon monoxide poisoning. I heard you say that. I mean, you've thought of 100 different ways. Take her out on a cruise and toss her off the side of the boat. I've heard that one. All the different ideas you've tossed around to see if you could kill me and get away with it. This is, and we get more the more you do to me. So I'm the witness in a case against you, and you know that. If you can't prove that it's not cops, then shut up about it. With your, maybe it's shapeshifters and aliens from Roswell that are helping her catch our crime. Yeah, that's it. Go into court and say that. Okay, so all I can do is testify. I heard a police recording where you all said, don't let the ATM deposit go through. And guess what? It didn't go through. And guess what? I didn't get the full amount back. I got some back, but not all. So you stole money from me. My guys have that. It goes on the list, the tabulations that they're running about how much money you've taken from me. Plus the $1,000 a day that you're invading my privacy and violating me in the most vulgar, horrible way a woman could be violated in her privacy of her home against my will, and you've been told repeatedly to cut it out. Stop. $1,000 a day. You're using my body, my property. I work. For my work, I get paid. It is very little. You make sure of that, but I get paid nonetheless. And then I pay my bills. My bills include the place where I live, the utilities. It's my home. It's my body. I'm working. I'm paying the bills. And fuck you. It is not your business, stalker. And you're not bait. You're not even close. I don't go out with men who peep, and I don't go out with men who are canned food. I don't do it, ever. So, I mean, my ex-husband did not make as much money as Saeed. Keep in mind, my ex-husband and Saeed were people that he actually was with. We were actually intimate. I was actually with them on a real date by my choice. Took them to my family and friends and introduced them. Charles went behind my back. My family now has to account for money they got from Charles, any kind of services or good they got from Charles, and all the dinners he bought them. Because that taints their witness testimony, doesn't it not? I think it does. Somebody told me my cousin had to change his story 3 times because he wasn't quite saying it like you wanted it said, Charles. So you made him change his testimony 3 times. Okay. And then we have the one guy that said, listen, were this my family member who said this person is stalking me, and then that person shows up at my house, my response would have been, without even having to think about it, you get the fuck off my property and you don't come back unless she brings you. That's all there is to it. And so why her family did her the way they did her, I will never understand. That's your family. Who the fuck does that? And if she can't trust her family, she can't trust anybody. Now, the only people she can trust are these cops helping her. No one else. Everybody else she knows has betrayed her. But them. They won't call Charles back, and they know he has a ton of money to offer. They will not call him back. Nope. It's about, I guess one of those guys said, I'm a billionaire and they won't call me back. And he said, and you have enough money in your couch cushion of one of your couches that would equal or even surpass what you're going to let her make all month. So no, you sick fuck. I'm going to help her, not you. She needs our help. You don't. So this time, the money isn't even helping you, is it? I hope it. Certain problems, money, even your money, is not going to do shit. Yep. Okay, so now we got this whole murder thing. You know, the shoe print. Well, they took all my shoes on August 2nd, so I had to go buy new shoes, Beverly. And then we've got this prior email about you're trying to frame me for a murder from February 15, 2022. A year before that. I don't know, what shoes. And then the cigarettes, you guys want. I change up when I smoke. I change it up all the time because we know that you were taking cigarettes from my work and planting them at some scene. In fact, my guy said they've got bags and bags. Had they just gotten one or two, it wouldn't have flagged us off. Wouldn't have flagged anybody off. But they got bags and bags, and you only need one or two to plant. So since they always overdo it, that flagged us off, and we started digging. What's going on? What's happening? Anything goes on with me that's off a little, they'll start digging to find out what the hell's the problem. Okay, so like the ATM, but my testimony, as far as your shit goes, is I heard a police recording, and the guy said she doesn't make money with DoorDash unless we decide she can make money with DoorDash, and it's only the amount we want her to make. And we have our people call and get her picture on their doorbell camera or home surveillance. We want to take it to Judy and show her we're not stalking her in Oklahoma. See all the pictures we took at her, just working, trying to, pay her bills. Yeah. And in Oklahoma, where she moved to get away from Charles, and he does not live thousands of miles away from where he's supposed to be, doing things he should be doing, and not in Oklahoma doing everything he shouldn't be doing. Okay, I heard the recording of, she's just not broke enough yet. I heard the recording of 20 different things you want to do to get my car. I heard the recording of, take her car, call Brandon at the Flying J and have him call us when she gets there. We're going to take her car. I heard it on the 18th of January last year. And then on the 19th of January, I can testify my car was taken from the Flying J. Can I prove what? What is it I need to prove? All I can testify to is what I know. That's what I know. I heard the recording. Don't let the ATM deposit go through. Don't let her Cash App work. Freeze all her bank accounts. She's just not broke enough yet. We trafficked her. Okay, and then I can testify. Well, so far my Cash App is fine, but my ATM deposit did not go through, and I lost money. There's somebody else commented on my workplace. There's two people now who have taken money and blamed her, tried to blame her, to try to make her look like a thief, because Calvin told him to do that. David Roberson told him to do that. We want to get her fired. She's just not destitute. She's just not broke enough and destitute enough yet. And by the way, both of them told her, I'm running the club now. And so that seems to me like it's the same offender doing the same thing. What it looks like to me. I'm not stupid. Are you stupid? Doesn't that seem pretty obvious to you? That's what's same people. I don't have any desire to run any club. I have a whole different agenda here, and that is catching a bad guy. Meantime, I got to feed myself. If you insisted on forcing me to work in a strip club, what better place to catch your crime than there? And we are. We are. No one's done what we've done. No one. Even you said that. This never happened before. And you act like you don't know what that means. So I switch up my cigarettes. Richard, I guess, was the one that was smart enough to say I can't put her at the scene. And I have to put her at the scene. Oh, no, she'll have a public defender. They won't think about that. And he goes, have you met her? She will. You think she's going to dissect Mike Neely's case and not hers? You're off your nut. You're not all there. I assure you, she will dissect her own case. Even if she has some stupid public defender, she can argue the law. Everybody said they've heard her argue the law in a courtroom. That's why they wouldn't let her in court. 5 attorneys couldn't handle one woman with no law degree. 5 seasoned attorneys. They got everything kicked out, ex parte, and the burden of proof was on her, and they didn't even let her into court to prove her own case. 3 times they had a chance. So they can't go around now saying she can't prove her case. I think she can, or you wouldn't have done that. So there's that. Okay, sometimes what we do is not even serving our own best interest. So the conversation last night basically was, I think that you're calling me and asking me for help, and what I'm going to tell you is they're doing things that get them caught every day playing some sick, twisted little game. And until they stop doing that, because it's not even benefiting them, I've got nothing to say. I've got nothing to do. There's nothing I can do. They want that. They think that they're the smartest people on the planet. So let them run it into the ground. Nobody can tell Charles Perry and David Roberson anything. They know it all. So let them run it into the ground. And until they're done, do not call me again, because I'm not going to waste my time any more than her people will, telling you things you should already know and repeat myself. And he was done. That was it. And I think you're pushing people to that place. It's fine. It makes our job a lot easier, doesn't it? But he basically couldn't help you because, Charles and Dave know it all. They're going to do things their way. I think long ago she said, even if I'm not going to help you and tell you who these people are. There's no way. But they're keeping me from being dead. They're the only thing standing between me and you and death, my murder. They're the only thing standing between me and you and things being a lot worse. So, absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's no way. You have a lot of nerve that you would even ask me. A lot of nerve. And that gets us a lot of intel that you have the nerve to do that. So he said, he basically said, you keep doing the same things and you're getting the same results. And anyone that kind of points that out, you should have a long time ago been nice to her and tried to get her to slip up as the best you could hope you would have of finding who these people are. And all you did was cause her to have trust issues now for the rest of her life with her family. You can't trust your own family. Who can you trust? And you caused a betrayal with her family. It's like she lost her entire family in a fire or something, and that had to have been very traumatizing. So now, and you've done this to her for 10 years now. So her being able to outsting up anybody, she hasn't had a choice. Now it's just muscle memory. She can do it. She could do it, I'm sure, without even trying. It's just part of who she is now. You did that. If she dares say something she likes, you take it. So you've taught her, don't trust anybody and say what you like. Don't say anything. In fact, you come out of that with more information than they will ever get. And pretty much I have. So I just have conversations at work, and that's anywhere I go, that I'm going to try to find out if you contacted this individual, and are they stalking for you, and are they trying to coerce for you. And that's what my goal is every time I have a conversation with someone. Anyone. Doesn't matter who it is. When you go at somebody's family and cause them to betray trust and they went behind my back and talked to you and took money from you and took dinners from you while I starved to death, you think I would ever trust them? Why would I trust them? I trust the people who told me that you did that to me, and that you sold me, and that you were trying to use my family to coerce me. So I trust the people that tell me he's trying to frame you for a murder. And by the way, here's what they all said today in the process in that conversation. Here's Judy Parker is in Lubbock, and both parties and all the injuries are in Oklahoma, so she has no jurisdiction, but she is trying to exercise jurisdiction over a person in another state, which is bizarre. By the way, she should know, when I worked for LARW as a volunteer, campaign manager, whatever, I was the campaign activities coordinator, volunteer. I worked my ass off for free. I was a professional businesswoman when I lived in Lubbock until I met you. She saw me fight for my children. I told her about it. She should know that's who I am. My other friend did. Why doesn't Judy? My other friend got it right away. She isn't going to go out with a man who's abusive, and she's used to a higher standard of living and a higher caliber of individual. And Perry's not good enough. He doesn't fit in with our crowd at all. Because no man that she would date would put her in the car, out on the streets. In fact, here's what Saeed did for me. When I moved to Las Vegas, I was driving a Saturn. At the time, the Saturn was the bomb. For an inexpensive little car, my first car that I had a loan on, that was the car to have. I was so proud of it. Everything I had before that was some little old beat up. I paid cash for it. Crap car. This was the first car that I had that was newer. It was nicer and had a loan on it. It was more expensive. I was driving cars that were like $1,000 in pay cash. This was a car that was like $11,000 or $12,000, and I had to have a loan. And it was my first nice new car. Like, okay, so I'm proud of it. I moved to Vegas. I get there, and the first thing Saeed said is, "Let's get you an Infiniti." The Infiniti at that time, the Infiniti Q45 at that time was like, there was like Mercedes, then Lexus, then Infiniti, or maybe Infiniti before Lexus, I'm not sure, but it was like Mercedes, BMW, I mean, top 5 most expensive luxury cars. And he wants to put me in, and I told him my friend's driving a J30. I want a J30. Nope, we're getting you a Q45. It's a lot nicer car, a lot more expensive, and we'll make sure you make those payments. So that's what we did. We'll find a slightly used Q45. We found one that was 2 years old, barely had any mileage on it, and he helped me get the car. And I drove it for the whole time I was in Vegas, pretty much. Right before I left Vegas, I traded it in for an Acura TL. And the Acura TL was also very nice, brand spanking new, luxury car. My payments, I think my car payments were like $500 a month, which was a lot. It's a lot now, but it was even more back then. But I made my payments until I moved. So, and it was a leased car, so I just turned it back into the dealership it was leased. Okay, so I didn't want to because at the time you could get a really, really nice car and you could get a lower monthly payment on a lease. My car was I was the first driver. It was brand spanking new. Anyways, back to the point, is he made sure I had a good life. That's the kind of person I would actually be with, not a human trafficker who's, trying to ruin me. He didn't spare no expense coming up here trying to win her over. He spared no expense coming up here trying to ruin her. And we've all noticed that, by the way. And we've been asked to help him do it, and we don't want to. We're tired of being pressured. So, again, the bottom line is, our guys understand what people want. It's not this. We get the help you get told on. So you can run around, Calvin, all you want, and tell people, she's not broke enough yet. She don't DoorDash unless we decide she can DoorDash. She don't make money unless we decide she can make money. Why don't you say that to my face, princess? Does it make you feel a tough guy to pick on a woman? Does it? So somebody said that. What a weak, pathetic, to have to pick on a woman to feel tough. And not only is he that weak, but he has to have a bunch of his buddies helping. That's how very weak he is. I mean, this guy's stupid. So we got all that. We get the help, not you. What he said is this. Comply with the fucking law like the rest of us. You live in a civilized society, so act civilized. You want to be a dignitary, so act like a fucking dignitary. Or shut up. Cause and effect, same, different, before and after. Every time you contact me, we always get more. You're not to contact me, you sick fuck. I will never help you. And how dare you have the nerve to ask? You have an attorney that is to help you. You do not ask me for help again. There will be very, very serious consequences every time you do. Every time you do.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone. All you want. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men. Leave women the fuck alone.
When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. And you need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave. This make you feel? You're filming my father and my fucking sister. How does this make you
Is that
feel?
the one that put all those scratches on your arm? You want to see the
Scratches?
pictures? You want,
I got
I
scratches.
can show you the pictures right now.
No, I want you to leave my family fucking alone.
Keep hanging outside of there.
Monkey, hit the road. Dude, I promise you, you're gonna get yours and you're gonna
I don't
get
give a
it
fuck.
good.
You can bring whoever the fuck you want.
That's okay. You're
You
gonna
can
find
bring
Is
the
that
whole
a
fucking
threat?
army.
You're gonna
I don't give a
find
fuck.
Does this make you feel? You're filming my father and my fucking...
That guy's been raping you since
Leave
you were
me
12 years
alone!
old.
Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
That guy's been raping you since you
Leave.
were... That's okay. I don't care.
Leave
You can
me
tell
alone.
all you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. And you need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
That's okay.